الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا وأبشروا بالجنة التي كنتم توعدون نحن أولياؤكم في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة ولكم فيها ما تشتهي أنفسكم ولكم فيها ما تدعون نزلا من غفور رحيم صدق الله العظيم بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم. Can I request all the brothers to read Durood Ibrahimi with me? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Respected brothers, elders, scholars, first of all, I would like to start by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity, tawfiq, to pray Salatul Maghrib in Jama'at. May Allah ta'ala accept our salah, our dua, and all our ibadat, faraiz and nawafil, and make this ibadat as means of our najat, our success, our maghfirat in this dunya and hereafter. And may Allah Ta'ala accept all our ibadat. Secondly, I would like to thank the organizers who have organized this event and gave me the opportunity to be present in front of you and deliver a message from Quran and Hadith. May Allah Ta'ala give me tawfiq. Wa ma tawfiqi illa billah. The topic, subject of this event is called consistency on ibadah, on our qitar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينُ. Then worship your Lord until yaqeen comes to you. وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينُ. This is the direct command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to his beloved Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينُ. That worship your Lord until yaqeen comes to you. Until yaqeen, حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينُ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْمَوْتِ. Until death. So we learn from this Quran verse that we are created in this world to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Every human being, jinn and ins, they are created to worship Allah ta'ala. Every human. We are the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are the makhluk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not a normal makhluk, but the ahsanul makhluk, ashraful makhluk. We're the best makhluk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're the most beloved creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, human beings. We're the chosen. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. And He created us in the best form and best manner. يَا أَيُّهَا الْإِنسَانِ مَا غَرَّكَ بِرَبِّكَ الْكَرِيمِ الَّذِي خَلَقَكَ فَسَوَّاكَ فَعَدَلَكَ. Ya ayyuhal insan, hey insan, hey human being, ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. Who deceived you from your noble Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, noble Lord, bi rabbikal kareem. Alladhi khalaqaka fasawwaka fa'adala. Who have created you in the best of form. In every form, every angle, Allah Ta'ala perfected us, gave us the perfection. From our birth until death, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala perfected us, has guided us, has given us all our needs, has given us tarbiyah, and protected us, and fulfill all our needs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfill all our needs. But only one thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demands from us: ibadat wa'abud rabbah. That I have created you for my ibadah. Habib ibn Kathir rahimahullah described ibadat here in this verse, ay ya'rifu. That Allah Ta'ala created us to recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to gain the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to gain the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To get the ma'rifat of our Khaliq, who is our creator. Who is our creator? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we can only realize and recognize Allah ta'ala through the ibadat, through obeying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is Islam. This is Islam. Islam is the best chosen religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala sent many hundreds of thousands of prophets alayhi salatu wassalam. All the prophets, their religion was given in a different name, but the maqsad was one, is to link the creation, makhluk, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And only Islam is the only religion, the name of Islam is given to the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And what does Islam mean? Islam means to complete submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command. يا أيها الذين آمنوا ادخلوا في السلم كافة. Allah Ta'ala calls the believers ادخلوا في السلم كافة. Enter into Islam completely. Enter into Islam completely. All believers enter into Islam completely. What does completely mean? Mean all our time, 24/7, we should surrender ourselves, submit ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not part-time Islam, no part-time Muslim. Yeah. That we pray one time salah and we leave another salah. Some Muslims you will find they will pray throughout the day only one time. One time salah. How many times salah are we supposed to read a day? 5. 5. Does all the Muslims perform 5-time prayers in Jamaat? No. Do they? They're supposed to. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us. Udkhulu fi silmi kaffa. The performed salah, this is just as I'm talking about salah. There are many other arkan Islam which are being neglected. I'm just talking about salah is the aham ibadah, the main important ibadah. Awwalu ma yuhasibu bihi al-abdu yawm al-qiyamati as-salah. The first hisab, the first accountability to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our salah. How we performed our salah, Fajr salah, Zuhr salah, Asr salah, Maghrib salah, Isha salah, perfect. Many Muslims you will see that throughout the day, if they get a chance or they want to read, they will read something must and read one salah, and that's it, they think this is finished. Is this person a complete Muslim? Do we call him as a Muslim? So we get mixed up like Iman and Islam. This is Islam. Islam means to submit ourselves, our desire in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, Allah Ta'ala has given us the Iman, the greatest ni'mah. And Islam is also the greatest ni'mah. The Islam comes through our actions, our a'mal. These are Islam. And this is also clearly mentioned, elaborated in the hadith Jibreel. Hadith Jibreel. Does anyone know Hadith Jibreel? Hadith Jibreel. Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that we are sitting in the gathering of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Like this we are sitting here. Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhu was sitting in the gathering majlis of Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ittala alayna rajulun. Suddenly a man came, rajulun, shadidun, very white and bright, clean clothes, in human form. A man arrived and sat down in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. لا يرى عليه أثر السفر ولا يعرفه منا أحد. None of us recognize him. And there is no sign of the journey that he is a traveler. So if someone travels from a long distance and comes to you, then you will see there's signs of journey. He's tired or there's some other sign. You could tell that. but we did not see any sign that this person is a traveler. وَلَا يَعْرِفُهُ مِنَّا أَحَدٌ, and no one recognizes him. He's not from the locality. If he was from locality, from someone that we know, then we recognize him. وَلَا يَعْرِفُهُ مِنَّا أَحَدٌ, no one recognizes him. And he sat in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in a most respectable manner. And he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, أخبرني عن الإسلام أخبرني عن الإيمان. Ya Rasulullah, tell me about Iman. أخبرني عن الإيمان, tell me about Iman. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, الإيمان أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله إلى آخره. That you believe in Allah, in His Messenger, in His books, and Day of Judgment, and all the taqdeer, khair and shar. You believe. Then Jibreel said, Sadaqta. And then he asked another question, second question, أخبرني عن الإسلام. Now tell me about Islam. Islam, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Al-Islam wa an tashhada la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah wa tuqima as-salah wa tu'ti az-zakah wa tasuma Ramadan wa tahujja al-bayta man istata'aka ilayhi sabila ila akhir. Then Jibreel said, Sadaqta. He confirmed that you said truth. Now, in this hadith, there are many questions were asked to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I just want to cover this part, Iman and Islam. These two different questions were asked to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What is Iman and what is Islam? Iman relates to your heart. It is the interior decorations of the heart. Interior? It is the interior decoration. That you have faith, Iman is stayed in the heart. Iman fil qalb. Wal khawfu wal khashiyatu fillah. Fear of Allah. Yes? Raja, hope on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the interior amal of the heart. And Islam is the external amal, or you could say external, the action, jawarih al-amal, amal jawarih, which tells a person that I am a Muslim, that I have accepted Islam. And these are amal, salah, wa tuqima as-salah, wa tu'ti az-zakat, wa tasuma Ramadan. So these arkan al-Islam are related to Islam. So Iman is related to your heart, and Islam is related to the Jawari. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that enter into Islam, submit to Allah ta'ala completely. All your body parts should submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is Islam. Our tongue, our hands, our feet, our mind, everything submits to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our tongue should only use according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure. This is the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything that we have, that we use daily, it is the ni'mat of Allah ta'ala. Tongue is the ni'mat of Allah ta'ala. How do we use our tongue? If you use this tongue for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will become your ibadat. That will become our ibadat. Tongue is Allah given us for His dhikr, for His ibadat. قولا سديدا. وقولوا قولا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا. Refrain from false, refrain from lying, refrain from all sinful words and sentences and kalam. So tongue is also worshipping Allah Ta'ala. Every limb of our body should submit to Allah Ta'ala. This is what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala requires. وَعَبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينُ. That worship Allah Ta'ala until death comes. It's no use that you perform salah, you come inside the masjid, you perform salah 5 times prayer, you become Muslim. And then outside the salah, you start backbiting people, swearing at people, slandering other people. It's no point that you come to the masjid and then you use your hand in the wrong manner. You steal, you want to abuse people for no reason. So hand is also part of our body and also needs to be submitted to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because on the day of judgment, my brothers, all our jawarih, all our parts of our body will witness in front of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون. On the day of judgment, Allah Ta'ala will seal our tongue. اليوم نختم على أفواههم. Their tongue will be, their mouth will be sealed. وَتُكَلِّمُنَا أَيْدِيهِمْ. And their hands will start to talk, to speak to Allah Ta'ala. The hands will talk, and the feet will witness, confirm what hands are saying. What hands are saying. So my brothers, we have to submit to Allah Ta'ala completely if we want to claim to be a good Muslim. In every way, in every aspect of our life, we have to submit to Allah Ta'ala. This is called ibadah. This is also a consistency on ibadah. Consistent ibadah doesn't mean that you pray only. Consistent ibadah means you obey the commands of Allah Ta'ala in all aspects of our life, and secondly, refrain from all the nawahi, the prohibitions of Allah Ta'ala. One Sahabi radiallahu ta'ala who came to Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and asked for advice. Awsini, Ya Rasulullah, give me an advice that I will not ask anyone after you. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, قُلْ آمَنْتُ بِاللَّهِ ثُمَّ اسْتَقِمْ. Very short and simple answer. But in this simple answer, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam giving him all his two guidelines that he can practice throughout his life. It will be sufficient for him. That believe in Allah Ta'ala and be istiqamah, be confirmed and steadfast on the iman. Al-istiqamatu ala ta'ah. This is what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says. وَعَبُدْ رَبَّكَ ثُمَّ اسْتَقِمْ. Worship Allah and be firm, steadfast on worship, ibadah. be consistent, consistent. The scholar says, al-istiqama, what istiqama describes al-istiqama هي محافظة على أوامر الله وحفظ للنواهي باجتنابها وتركها. Simple descriptions of istiqama. To perform all the awamir of Allah Ta'ala, abide all the hukum, ahkam of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and refrain from all the nawahi. What does nawahi mean? The prohibition. All the things that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has prohibited upon us, we refrain from it. All kind of prohibition. All the actions that displease Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that is against the pleasure of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. This is called istiqamah. Then istiqamah has two rules: al-istiqamatul qalbi wa istiqamatul lisani. Consistency on our istiqamatul qalb and consistency on our istiqamatul lisan. Consistency on istiqamatul qalb means your heart should be consistent on Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. That Allah on iman, on khawf, fear of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Consistently fear. You should always fear Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Wa raja', and consistently have the hope on Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And consistently have in your mind focus that I am not here in this world forever. But I have another journey. I am in journey, I have another place to go. And that is akhirah. And that is akhirah. Dunya is a mazra'atul akhirah. It is a place that we prepare ourselves for akhirah. This is called istiqamatul qalb. These are all related to istiqamatul qalb. And when our heart is straight, and then comes istiqamatul lisan. Istiqamatul lisan is consistent or steadfast on our a'mal, or our actions. Hazrat Sufyan, when we are consistent on our ibadah, on our actions, then Allah Ta'ala will give us the jaza. Allah Ta'ala will give this reward. And that reward is Jannatul Firdaus. Where does it say? Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ كَانَتْ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ الْفِرْدَوْسِ. In Surah Qaf. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Those who believe in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and they are consistent on their amal salih, on their ibadat, كانت لهم جنات الفردوس. Allah Ta'ala will grant them Jannatul Firdaus. And Jannatul Firdaus is the Jannat, the highest, the greatest Jannat that Allah Ta'ala has prepared for the believers. Allah Ta'ala has prepared for the believers. So my brothers, we all want to go to Jannah, don't we? Or do we want to stay in dunya? No one will stay in dunya, my brothers. No one. Look our forefathers, no one stays. So brothers, like last Ramadan, not this Ramadan, the Ramadan before, we had many brothers with us. They kept fast with us, they had iftar with us, they had their Tarawih with us. But this Ramadan we missed them. We don't see them. We didn't see them. That's what. Now this Ramadan we finish. Next Ramadan we might not see those people who partly get this Ramadan. We might not see any of us. You might not see me next Ramadan. We might not see. The mu'min, the believers, the Muslims, they have to prepare all the time that this is my last day. This is my last salah. This Maghrib could be my last salah. I'm not here. I might be not here for Isha salah. This should be the character of a Muslim. When you have this character, when you have this mind all the time, the fear of the remembrance of death, fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take my word, brothers, shaitan will not deviate you from the right, but from the right. A believer cannot commit any sin when he has this thought mind in his head that I am not here, I can die next in the moment. I'm in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we perform ibadat in the hadith of Jibreel, the third question, Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salatu wa salam asked, Akhbirni al-ihsan. What is ihsan? Inform me about ihsan. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, An ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tarah, fa'in lam takun tarah, fa'innahu yarah. That you worship Allah ta'ala as though you can see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is front. Allah is front. Allah is everywhere. Whether we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you cannot see, if you have not reached to that level, you cannot see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah ta'ala, فَإِنَّهُ يَرَاكَ, He is seeing you and He can see you all the time. So be mindful while you are in salah, while you are performing the ibadah. And this is called the darajat of ihsan. This is what ihsan, this is called the tazkiyatul nafs. The darajat of ihsan can only be gained through the tazkiyah nafs. And tazkiyah nafs is to have all the time in mind that I am created for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. Allah is watching me all the time. And when we have in mind that Allah is watching me all the time, I will not able to miss salah. I will not utter a word with displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching. May Allah ta'ala grant us tawfiq to act upon what He has said. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, dhikr majlis will take place. Maulana Sahib will take the dhikr. May Allah ta'ala give us tawfiq. وآخر دعوانا.